Hello, good morning, judges. My name is Rahul Kumar, and me and my partner Jinwoo Kang are the founders of ShareandChange.org, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that's fostering thousands of blood donations across the globe. Today, I'd like you all to play the role of social impact entrepreneurs as I embark on a revolutionary STEM project for NGN goal number 5, promoting healthcare for all. Specifically, we're fostering blood donations around the globe. So a little bit about me. I'm currently a senior at Doherty Valley High School in San Ramon, California. Coming from a family of rural immigrants, I'm fascinated with healthcare. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to tell you why that fascination is worth your time. So my partner, Jinwoo King, is actually unfortunately unable to join us today because due to the coronavirus, he's unable to leave Washington State, and he's actually under military government quarantine. But since he's an integral part of the project, I filled him in all the details. So the first thing I'd like you to do is take out your device, and this could be your mobile phone or your tablet or whatever you want. And just for a second, let's imagine what we can do with this. For me and Jinwoo, 4 years ago, that imagination turned into curing a societal poison that affected millions of people worldwide, yet one that practically no one knew about. And we were surprised to find that on nearly every continent on the globe, blood donations had an issue, you name it. So we conducted our own research. We wanted to gauge the problem for ourselves. And as data analysis nerds, we were more than interested in doing this. So we conducted a Facebook survey. We asked about 327 people around the globe, do you know that there's a blood donation center near you? Or do you know that you could be fostering blood donation centers? And to our surprise, only 19% of people out of 327 people actually said they did. On Twitter, a very similar result. Out of 123 people that we asked, only 17% actually said that they knew they could be fostering blood donations. And we wanted to go further. We went around South and East Bay cities in California, and we asked people at gyms and Safeways and local retail centers, and we asked about 250 people, do you know that you can be fostering blood donation centers? And keep in mind, these are people who live 30 miles or less away from a blood donation bank, and we were very surprised. Only 23% of people actually said they did. And in Europe, it finally became clear. After interviewing people across 4 different countries, we found that over 85% of men and over 60% of women did not know they could be fostering blood donations, and in fact, did not even know what we were talking about. And that was surprising. But all the data analysis in the world just reaffirmed what we knew from the beginning. There is a lack of blood in the world. And the lack of knowledge that people can donate isn't harmless. Blood donations are projected to decrease only starting today. And that means that millions of people are being adversely affected, and practically no one even knows they are. ShareandChange.org is our unique solution to combat this issue using mobile technology that's widespread around the globe. Today, we're going to convince you that ShareandChange.org is worth your $10,000 grant. We're going to basically convince you that our idea in healthcare is worth it, and that the issue of blood donations is in fact solvable. So when I say ShareandChange uses mobile technology, I really want to put the emphasis on that. But rather than tell you how it works, I'd rather just show you. So let's jump into the mobile application me and Jinwoo made for a nonprofit organization. Let's go to the home screen. We'll be focusing on donate blood for today. And basically our system works that blood donors will be connected instantly as soon as they register on our application to all of our blood donation bank partnerships. This includes Stanford Blood Center, numerous Red Cross blood centers, and more. And when they do so, they'll be contacted by these blood donation centers if their specific blood type is registered in our organization. So as a blood donation person, you get instant access. And we often tell the blood donors, relax. You bring the blood, we'll do the rest of the work. And that's very much true. We quickly introduce our blood donors to just 3 brief screens detailing how the blood donation process works, as well as kind of the work that ShareandChange does for them and how ShareandChange hopes to seamlessly ease in the process. And after these 3 brief screens, we jump into the main screen. Let's take the perspective of a blood donation bank. As a blood donation bank, you go on the top left-hand corner and click Find a Donor. As soon as you do, you'll be connected to thousands of donors across the globe. And specifically, let's say you're a blood donation bank that's lacking O+ blood group. You can actually schedule when you want donors to come to your center and donate blood for this specific group. And it's not just O+ blood. Every single blood type is on here, which means as a blood donor, as a blood donation bank, if you want a specific donor, you can definitely find one. And this, again, these are blood donation centers across the globe. Now let's take the perspective of a blood donor. As a blood donor, you get even more features. If we go on the top right-hand corner as a blood bank, you could be able to visit nearby blood banks that are near you, as well as blood banks that are open for your specific blood type. At this time, 11:22 p.m., there were no blood banks, but generally in the morning, this is rampant with numerous blood donation centers that are keenly looking for your specific blood group. And we wanted to make this a social media type platform for the true experience. So we have blood donors enter a profile where they can enter their demographic information. This includes their number, their age, and their contact information, as well as their blood group. And when they do this, this information will be actually sent to all the blood donation banks. And in turn, blood donation banks that actually lack their specific blood group that are in the area will be able to contact them in a seamless, efficient, safe, and quick process. And we really want to put the emphasis on that. There are 4 main ways that we spend our time to actually develop this kind of security. Let's start with the first one. For server requirements, we currently use Amazon Web Services, App Store, and Google Play Store services to host our mobile application and website. Additionally, we use the communication software Twilio to communicate with our donors on a 24/7 basis. This includes all our donors across the globe on any time zone. And again, we travel. We meet with blood donation banks and we meet with government jurisdictions, partnering with these government social programs to bring the best out of ShareandChange. We want to make sure this process reaches as many people as possible, and that truly has been encompassed. And lastly, advertising. Using our partnership with the Kiva organization, as well as the Sankara Eye Foundation organization, we've been able to do extensive social media advertising across the globe, as mainly on Facebook and Twitter platforms. And again, we're rampant in community events. And additionally, we have finances and other preparatory materials at these community events, such as posters and booths and flyers. And we've definitely seen this work out. Since 2016, we've been about spending $2,873.64 approximately. And in turn, we have over 2,085 active donors across the globe. We've made about 15 different organization partnerships with blood donation banks and nonprofits. And keep in mind, these are often franchise organizations that have multiple locations across the globe. And in turn, we've definitely seen the effects play out. Since 2016, over 4,000 blood donations have been fostered around the globe. And the number is only projected to increase for ShareandChange this year. Let's talk about how we're using your money. We've divided into 4 main categories, but 65% of your money will be using an online media presence. We'll be growing our presence on YouTube and other social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter, which will release our pre-existing marketing materials and spread this even further. Currently, this has largely helped us and make us become a household name in many parts of the world. And we hope to continue to do that. Additionally, we want to establish strong community presence. Using our organization ties with the Kiva organization, and the Sankara Eye Foundation organization, we want to be present in both international and domestic events. And this obviously helps people recognize our name as well as further establish their trust in ShareandChange. And again, we want to spend 5% partnering with nonprofit organizations. This includes traveling to fellow nonprofit organizations such as we did in the past. And some examples of those are Vitas Hospice and Stanford Blood Center that we have numerous partnerships with. And again, we want to tie into the government social programs. These government programs are very effective at helping people, and we want to make sure that ShareandChange is a part of that. We've been a part of numerous government jurisdictions, such as recently we met with San Ramon Mayor Bill Clarkson or Dublin Mayor David Hubert, and we'll be able to partner with governments to bring the best experience out of ShareandChange. And of course, we're not alone. When me and Jen were making this application, we wanted to make sure that we stood out of anyone else, and we definitely achieved that. The first characteristic I would like to mention is unparalleled interconnectedness. And what I mean by that is that, while many blood donation applications often connect blood donors to blood donation group using a Google Map system, ShareandChange makes it as seamless as possible. When you register, your profile will be stored in our database, and blood donation centers will actually be able to contact you based on your specific blood group, which makes it as seamless as possible. And again, we often tell our donors, relax. You bring the blood, we'll do the rest of the work. And that's very much true. And as a second factor, we're safe and efficient. We have partnerships with organizations that are reputed, and we often cross-check these with national as well as our own regulations. We make sure that these organizations are true to the tip. And that's definitely worked out. Since 2016, we have about a 0% blood fraudulent rate, among 2,000 donors across 17 different countries. And again, we want to make this an experience for everyone. We want to make sure that all demographics will be able to use our app. And we've tested that. With demographics from age 17 to 64, we found that the average time to actually use our app for new users is about 1 minute and 49 seconds. And for pre-existing users, it cuts that about in half. So it goes to show that in a safe, efficient process, anyone around the world can donate blood, no matter who you are or where you live. And with that, I want to reiterate my previous point, that the lack of blood donations is a mountain that needs to be climbed. We've started the journey, but with your grant, we can reach new heights. Thank you so much for your time. And if there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to take them.
Rahul, that's a great presentation. This is Robert Jung. I have just one question.
Yeah.
Do you have any data, since you did a great job in terms of your research, do you have any data on the other side in terms of what is your actual impact? I noticed that you said you have that many users, but can you tell me from your customers who are the blood banks, what is their reaction and response to your particular application?
Definitely, and the major blood banks we partner again are often franchise blood banks, and these have centers around the globe. What we essentially do is that we connect with them, and in doing so, they definitely appreciate it. We've just in this year alone, let me go to it. Just in this year alone, we've accrued over 85 users, and these are across different blood banks. And what we actually do with the blood banks is we send them volunteers, and we increase their blood supply amount. And of course, in the end goal, both me and the blood banks, our goal is to increase blood donation rates. Let's take Stanford Blood Center, for example. While they do have a currently large user base, what we do is that we say we can bring more blood donors in. We can bring more blood donations as well as volunteers from nonprofit organizations in. And these organizations often partner with us for that reason. They trust ShareandChange to do so. And again, showing by the data, we've definitely did so. Since we started in 2020, for the first 6 weeks, we've brought over 85 donors and who actually became 100% volunteers to these blood donations, blood bank centers.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
I have a follow-up question. Sorry
Yeah.
on that. Have you noticed a marked difference in your demand since the COVID-19 outbreak?
Yes, definitely, especially in parts that were located internationally. Let's take Italy, for example. We have been suspending operations to keep up with the shelter-in-place quarantine by the government. But this definitely has impacted our operations. But again, we're across the globe, and in many parts of the world, such as Atlanta or in the Midwest, we actually still have a large user base. And again, of course, we want to comply with government regulations. But as you can tell from the data here, people are still very interested in ShareandChange. And not just that, but our donations are actually going up since the coronavirus. This is a projection of how we started in 2016 from our donors. And again, from 2020, this number only rises.
Rahul, congratulations on all your successes to date. Very impressive. Question for you around those numbers. If you were to go back to those numbers of people not even knowing that blood banks exist and people not even knowing, I think, that you can donate blood and your blood kind of just recreates inside your body. Are you guys doing anything around the actual awareness and the actual training and education aspect of all this that will change and influence those numbers? Or are you just creating the platform that connects donors to volunteers?
Yeah, definitely. And when we do have awareness issues, and that's what we do with partnership with the Kiva organization and Sankara Eye Foundation. We partner with them to show up at these local international community events, and especially partner with these government jurisdictions to bring our name out. Because at the end of the day, we want as many people to donate blood in a safe, efficient process. And to do so, we have numerous marketing events. For example, recently with the San Ramon, there's a San Ramon community events that we set up booths that we distribute flyers at local community shops, such as retailers, namely Starbucks and other examples like that. And that's greatly increased our awareness. On top of that, we also have Facebook marketing across the globe and Twitter marketing across the globe. Doing this has actually accrued a large portion of our user base. And when we actually surveyed these people after, we found that many people actually did not donate blood before this, but when they came to ShareandChange, they actually stuck with our blood donations, and either over 1,900 people actually spread ShareandChange again, volunteered, or donated again. And this interest is what we're building up.
Can you give a little additional color about the competition?
Oh, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sorry, can you give a little additional color about the competition?
Yeah, definitely. So there's three main issues we wanted to solve when we analyzed other blood donation groups. When me and Jen were starting this, we thought, how could ShareandChange make this a better process? And again, there are many blood donation apps out there. I do not want to lie and say there aren't, but there's three main problems with them. They don't, they're kind of an independent entity. There's some organization coding this mobile application that's often not trusted and is comparable to a Google Maps system, as I aforementioned. But ShareandChange really wanted to rectify on this. We wanted to have people trust us. To do so, we partnered with numerous franchise organizations, and we wanted to mention this to our donors. We screen these blood donation banks, and we make sure that you're donating blood in a safe, efficient way. And that's what many of the other blood donation applications simply can't do. Either they have poor UI that people don't trust, or they have there's no connections. There's just some independent entity operating it, and ShareandChange definitely rectifies that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Rahul, thank you so much. If we can leave the meeting, thank you.
And if there's any questions, definitely feel free to contact us. We have an office in San Francisco that we're renting out, or you can call us on our phone number, and we'd be happy to talk to you more about ShareandChange.
Thank you.